Hi, my name is Miss Reckendorf, and I am your child's Algebra 1 teacher this year. I'm sorry you weren't able to join us for back to school night, but I'm so glad that you're tuning in to see everything that we talked about. I'm excited for the new, fun, challenging, and impactful learning that we will be engaging in this year, and I look forward to working with you to support your learner or learners as we navigate the return to full in-person learning. A little bit about myself. I am from Gaithersburg, Maryland originally, where I graduated from Watkins Mill High School back in 2003. I'm currently in Washington, D.C. in the Navy Yard, about 10-minute walk from Nats Park. Go Nats. Really enjoying it. I've been living there now a little over a year, and it's an absolutely the best place I've ever lived. And I've only lived there. I only lived a few minutes away from DC my entire life, but I never really explored it the way that I am now as an adult. So happy to be there. Plus, going against traffic is always fantastic. My education, like I said, I graduated from Watkins Mill High School. I did that back in 2003. I went off to York College of Pennsylvania, where I graduated with a bachelor's in sport management. Sports has always been a passion of mine, so when I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do in life, I was like, I'm going to go do sport management. I thought maybe it would get me into professional sports world or find my way working with children. I have worked with children my entire life, my entire adult life, in the coaching aspect. So I coached softball at North Bethesda Middle School and also at Walter Johnson High School. Where we won the regional championships last year. So very exciting for the community there. In order to coach, I needed a job that would allow me to get out of work by 3 o'clock. And so that is actually how I entered into the world of education. I became a substitute teacher with Montgomery County Public Schools, and I did that for about 3 years before moving to Virginia Beach, where I was a teacher's aide for elementary physical education. After that, I moved back home to Maryland and got into the mortgage business. About 3 years into that, we were able to work with junior achievement, which allowed me back into the classroom. And I just was like, all of a sudden, I go, why am I not doing this? This is absolutely what I love. So when I was 29 years old, I went back to school, got my master's in education at University of Maryland. And so this is my 6th year as a certified teacher. I've taught at Watkins Mill High School, Farquhar Middle School, Montgomery Village Middle School, and then now North Bethesda Middle School for my 3rd year. In my classroom, my expectations is that I expect excellence and effort from all of my students, but I also understand that this looks different for each person. I believe every student is capable of learning and success. There are going to be mistakes, but mistakes allow thinking to happen. In this classroom, mistakes are expected, respected, inspected, and then finally corrected. The building blocks to success, first and foremost, is complete all assignments on time. Okay, this is a high school course. It's fast-paced. We are going to have homework almost every single day, so it's really important that we do not fall behind. It's important also to find a study buddy. When I was in middle school, I know that me and my friends in the neighborhood would get together and we would work on some homework together or study together. I know that things can, right now with COVID, make sure that we are still staying safe if we do in-person study buddy, but we also now have technology where we can do Zoom or FaceTime. It's also especially important when you're absent to get in touch with a friend. Study and keep up with class notes. I do provide class notes, but it's important for your child to learn how to take their own notes. That being said, they're 11, 12, 13. So they're not going to catch everything that I put up on the board, which is why I provide those notes for them. Open line of communication. It's really important at their age that they start advocating for themselves. I would love to hear from them first and then have parent involvement if need be. So I would love for them to come up to me and say, Ms. Reckendorf, what can I do to improve my grade. Ms. Reckendorf, I'm not understanding this. When is a good time that I can come in and get some extra help? Okay, again, first them, and then if we still need, if things aren't working out, then obviously I would love to hear from you, or I will reach out to you as well. Check Canvas and Synergy daily. Synergy is where you are going to see the accurate grade. Canvas, you shouldn't be able to see grade at all, but if I'm wrong, that is incorrect. So just look at Synergy for grades. And make sure that they're using their daily planner and writing down in their agenda book and checking the Canvas calendar. The next thing I'm going to show you is my actual page. There are a couple buttons down here. The first one is weekly learning. This is going to take you to my modules page. Right now on the modules page is getting to know you activity that is due by 11:59 on September 7th, which is Tuesday. Parents, it's going to ask you questions like your phone number and email. I know that you have given that to the school, but sometimes it's not updated and phone numbers are no longer working or emails get kicked back because there might be a typo. So please provide those for me again. Desmos was an activity that your child missed, unfortunately, due to the early release the other day. So if they are looking for if you're looking for an activity for them to do at some point, Desmos is a great one to look at because we will be using it a lot this year. And oh, I know, I'm sorry, I was speaking as if I was talking to my 6th period class. Some of the classes did use Desmos. It was 6th period that did not, unfortunately. This is a video of today's class. This is not something I do all the time, but because of the early release, our schedule was a little wacky today for our first lesson, and I didn't get through all of it. So please make sure they're watching the video before they do their homework for lesson 1. All of that is due on September 8th. The next button on here is for emailing myself. And so if you click this, it will take you to my .org account. I don't check the .net as often. I ask that you please do not use Synergy to email me. It just does not transfer correctly. It does not present well, and it's harder for me to write back to you. So please email me at .org and do not use Synergy if you can. I really would appreciate that. Finally, course resources. If you click that, you're going to see important documents. The only one that I have currently is the syllabus. Also on here is kind of like the parent update that you get each week. I have a calendar of what to expect the next week, including our units. You'll see on the 10th, there is a graded check-in on Unit 2, Lessons 1 and 2. That will be their first formative assessment grade. It tells you the homework. If your child forgets to bring their book home to do their homework, I will provide blank copies of the homework. If you don't have a printer, it's okay. They can just, on a notebook paper, you don't have to write out the questions. They can just write one and then show their work and circle their answer. This is also where I will be uploading my notes for the class. Unfortunately, I forgot to do that today. First lesson, I'm sorry. I'll get better at it. But I will upload it when I return on Wednesday. I am out tomorrow on Friday the 3rd. So when I return on Wednesday, I'll upload those notes so they can study for their quiz on Friday. Let's look at the syllabus. That will be the last thing we look at. Please read this over. I'm not going to read it to you, but here's a couple things that I want to point out. This is our sequence of units, starting off with linear equations, inequalities, and systems. If you scroll down, you're going to see the material. The main one here in bold is the calculator, the graphing calculator. TI-83 or TI-84 graphing calculator is needed. They are expensive, so if you do not want to purchase one, we do rent them out at North Bethesda. You'd have to fill out a form pretty much saying, hey, if I don't return it, or if I return it and it's broken, then you do have to pay for it. But if you return it in good shape, then you got to use it for free for the year. Finally, Grading, formative assessments are 90% of their grade. Practice homework is 10% of the grade. This is a high school course, so it will go on their transcript. We start making recommendations in mid-January, so we're looking for A's and B's in this class. C's, we're going to be determining whether or not we feel like they're strong enough to go to honors geometry next year, or if they should repeat algebra. D's and E's probably should be repeating algebra next year. This talks about our absences, if somebody's absent, late work and missing work policy, homework policy, and then down at the bottom are retakes. There are no retakes on mid-unit assessments or end-of-unit assessments, so not the big ones are not retakeable. However, students will be able to retake 2 quizzes and 2 graded check-ins per marking period. So that's pretty good. Please make sure they're utilizing that opportunity to keep their grade up or to get their grade up. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me or have your child reach out to me. As again, I want to make sure that they are being accountable for their education. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to working with you and your children this year. Thank you so much. Take care.